In this video, I'm going to talk to you about function parameters, and that's a really fancy way of saying passing something from one function to another. So we're going to pass the turtle from one function to another so we can do things with the turtle in each of those functions. So in this first one, we're going to create the turtle. So I'll call this one create. And inside of this, we'll get some input from the user. So we'll say turt color, get some input. What color? I'm not going to make these too fancy. And then turt shape. And I'm going to let you go on from there because that's your assignment, is to finish this up. And I'm just going to create the turtle. Let's call it Crush because it's my favorite right now, apparently. So I'm going to create Crush, and you'll do more here, like you'll give Crush the color, you'll give Crush the shape, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be part of your assignment, is to finish these functions. So finish creating Crush by adding more input from the user and then designing Crush based off of what they said. What I want to talk to you about now is how to pass Crush on into the next function so that we can draw with Crush inside of this function. So I'm going to create a function here I'm going to call draw. Creative, I know. And what we're going to do is ask the user, so remember your program where you had different shapes you wanted that the user could choose. So you're going to say user, what do I say? Which shape, I guess. Input. What would you like me to draw? And then give them the choice, tell them what their choices are. Square, rectangle, whatever it is you had for your options. Now here if we say if which shape dot lower equals a square, then you're going to have Crush draw the square. But here's where the problem lies. So if I just say for I in range 4, if I say Crush dot forward, and Crush dot right. So if I try to run this whole thing, there's gonna be an issue. So let me call the draw function. So we've created Crush in this function. Now we're gonna call this function that is gonna draw, and we're not gonna do the restart yet, but I'm gonna call the create function. I just want to show you the error that comes up. So if I run this, it's gonna ask me what color. I'll say blue. What shape? A turtle. And then it's gonna what shape? I'll say square because that's the only one I have right now. And it's going to say Crush is not defined on line 17. That's because this is what we call scope. That's because Crush was defined inside of this function, so that means Crush only lives in this function. This function, draw, doesn't know that Crush exists yet because these two functions are completely separate from each other. They don't talk to each other unless we tell them to. So here's where the function parameter comes in. So what I'm going to do is send Crush, because I created Crush here, and I want to do something with him here. I'm going to pass him into the draw function. So right here, when I create this draw function, I've passed Crush into it. So what that means is that this function has to accept Crush, saying, okay, pass Crush over, this part of the function saying accept Crush so that we can do stuff with him. Okay, let me show you what I mean. If I run, what color? If I say blue, turtle, I'm going to draw a square, and now Crush will draw the square, just like we asked. Because Crush now exists here. We've passed him along. We said create them, send them onto the draw. The draw says, okay, I'll take in crush, and now we can draw with crush. Okay, so here's the tricky part. I'm going to let you do the else if, like else if a rectangle and else if a something else. But if they don't choose one of them, if they don't choose square, they don't choose rectangle, they don't choose your hexagon, then we're going to do a little print statement saying, please only choose from square, rectangle, whatever your other choices are. But then we're going to send them right back to the top of this draw function. So we're going to call draw, but don't forget, when you call draw, we have to send crush back into it again. So crush was accepted into the function, so when we call the draw function again, we have to make sure crush goes along with it. So anytime I call this draw function, I want to send crush. So the nice part about this is that if they make a mistake like this, we don't have to start all the way back at the beginning where they have to choose the color and the shape again. The nice part about this is that they only have to restart this one function. So let me show you what I mean. A color blue. I should take this out because I'm not even using it yet, but you will. Square. And it draws the, oh, I did it wrong. I wanted to do a mistake. Let me try it again. Let's do a mistake this time. So if I make it a mistake, blue, turtle, and I say triangle, that's not one of the options yet. So it's going to say, please only choose from square or rectangle. So now I'll choose square, and it'll draw my square. Okay, last function I want to show then is the restart. So once this is all said and done, once we're finished, we'll call the restart function, and I'm going to pass crush along with it because I want to show you one thing I've not shown you yet because it hasn't really come up. But I'm going to pass crush along into this restart function. So I'm going to create the restart function. I'm going to accept crush into this function because now we're going to ask if they want to start over. Do you want to play again? And if they say yes, here's the cool part. So if they say yes, they want to play again, because I've sent crush into this restart function, I can reset crush. So what that'll do is wipe out anything that was there before, reset him back to his normal boring state before we then go ask the user if they want to do something else. So I'm going to say crush.reset. And we weren't able to do this before because I didn't talk to you about passing variables. So you didn't know how to pass crush into this restart. So what that allows you to do is restart crush and then go back up to the create function. Now notice I didn't pass crush into the create because we don't want to use the old crush. We're going to create a brand new one at the beginning. So let's try it. If I say blue, although none of this is going to work yet, you're going to have to fix that. I want a square, and he's going to draw the square slowly. Do you want to play again? If I say yes, it's going to wipe out the screen and restart everything. So it's kind of nice. That's something we hadn't done before. All right, your goal is to finish these functions. Finish creating the turtle and designing it like the user wanted. Finish this with the shapes that you're giving them as options to draw. And finish the restart if they say no and if they say something other than no. All right, that's it. Go.